A very happy morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the session. BA History Program, second semester, session number 43. I am Sudhaji, Assistant Professor, Department of History, GFGC, Ripanpet. Being a student of history, you know pretty well that history is not a cock and bull story. It has been constructed based on authentic sources. Am I right? Now, can you name the sources of history? Yes, archaeological sources and literary sources. Let us today in our session explore the contributions of Mughals to literature. Students have learnt about the contributions of Mughals to the field of art and architecture. They recall the masterpieces of the Mughal monuments across the country. Learning objectives of today's session: to enable the students to learn about the contributions of Mughals to the field of literature, they will also identify the works written during the reign of Mughals. Learning outcome of the session: at the end of the session, students will recall the various works and authors of various Mughals. They will understand that the literature is the reflection of the society, which serves as a source to construct history of Mughals. They will also identify different languages which were used while composing the literature. To begin with, the Mughal period produced a vast literature. This was possible because Mughal emperors themselves were great patterns of literature. Apart from Persian and Hindi literature, Bengali, Punjabi, and other vernacular languages were also used to produce literature. Let's move on to know Babur's contribution to the field of literature. Though Babur was busy in conquest and extending his dominions, parallelly he was interested in literature as well. He wrote Tuzaki Babari, also called Memories of Babur in Turki language, which is his autobiography. He also wrote Divan, a collection of poems in Turki language. He invented new verse in Persian poems too. Khat-i Babari, treatise on Muslim law. Mubayin, which was a collection of Masnavis. During the reign of Akbar, it was translated into Persian language. Babur also patronized several scholars in his court. Let's move on to Humayun. Humayun built a big library as he was a lover of learning. His biography was written by his daughter Gulbadan Begum called Humayun Nama. As far as the literature is concerned, the period of Akbar witnessed literature of a very high standard. Among them, Abul Fazl wrote Akbar Nama and Aini Akbari. Badauni wrote Muntakab ul Tawarik. Nizamuddin Ahmad wrote Tabakat-e-Akbari. Sur Das was the author of Sur Sagar. Tulasi Das wrote Ramacharit Manas, and Malik Muhammad Jaisi wrote Padmavat. The period of Akbar was a period of renaissance in medieval Indian history in Persian language. His tolerant and benevolent policy and his patronage of learning, coupled with internal peace and prosperity and freedom from foreign danger, made possible the conditions in which letters and art flourished. During his period, volumes of literature was produced by scholars of outstanding ability. Dear students, I would like to suggest you to refer the original historical monuments, historical documents translated into English like Babar Nama, Aini Akbari, etc. to gain real historical knowledge. You can visit archives for that. Kindly don't confine yourself for notes alone. Be passionate while studying. Dig the past. I'm sure you will get vast knowledge to do research in history. Will you? Coming back to the contributions of Akbar, Persian literature may be classified under two heads, namely original compositions and translations. Under the first category, letters and poetry occupied a prominent place. It was a fashion with writers in that age to leave behind collections of letters which were considered to be models of literary style. Abul Fazl's letters called Insha-e Abul Fazl was a masterpiece. The literatures of Mughals yield material for a cultural history of the period. Persian poetry occupied the next place. In fact, poetry in medieval age, the most popular vehicle of literary expressions of Muslims, which helped them to express their natural love of beauty. Many scholars practiced it as a regular profession and in pursuit of culture. The Aini Akbari gives the name of 59 topmost Persian poets patronized by Akbar. Do you believe? The most important among them was Abul Faizi, his own elder brother, whose works are being read outside India even today. One important point you must remember, dear students, that the most of the poets writing in Persian language paid more attention to language than to thought, and their familiar theme in most cases was love. Do you love? You like love and romance. Am I right? Then you go through the poetries written in Persian language of Mughals period. Will you? Many authors of outstanding merits produced a commentary of the Quran also. The most important achievement of the age was translation into Persian of first-rate works of Sanskrit, Arabic, Turkey, and Greek. In order to bring about a fusion of the Hindu and Muslim cultures, and in order to provide a common literature to the intelligentsia of the land, Akbar established at his court a translation department in which high ranking scholars of different languages were appointed. The department functioned under his own personal supervision, which is really appreciable effort initiative taken by Akbar. What do you say? Let us know some of the best translated works into Persian language. Mahabharata was translated into Persian by Naqib Khan, Abdul Qadir, Badayuni, and Sheikh Sultan, and it was named Razam Nama, which means the Book of Wars. Same scholars also translated Ramayana. Akbar showed love of history, and his patronage of historians became responsible for the production of many chronicles describing not only the events of the reign but also the past history of the country. For more information, you can refer the Mughal Empire by A.S. Srivastav. Let us move on to know the contributions of Jahangir. Jahangir also wrote autobiography called Tujki Jahangiri and Iqbal Naam Ye Jahangiri, Masir Ye Jahangiri. These two books are historical works, and contributions of Shah Jahan. During his period, Padshah Nama was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori. Shah Jahan Nama wrote Inayat Khan was the author of this book. During his period, holy books of Hinduism such as Upanishads, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Vasista, etc. were translated in Persian language. Now, contributions of Aurangzeb. Fatwa-e Alamgiri was a digest of Muslim law produced during his period. Muntakabul was a history by Kafi Khan. Alamgir Khan was a book by Mirza Muhammad Kazim. As a conclusion, we can say that the study of literature it gives soothing experience to the heart. The study of literature provides happiness like a wife, joy to mind, take us to a unique world of imagination, and improves our standard of living. It inspires us to do hard work with the courage and hope. I am very sorry to say that nowadays reading habits among the students has been diminishing due to the availability of social media. Students are not reading the books. In order to dig past, to become intelligent, to improve memory power, to get relief from stress, to improve our vocabulary, to get more focus on our goal, to improve our linguistic skills, to develop analytical skill, we need to study literature. I hope you will start studying books than the referring the social medias. Make best use of library where you can find oceans of books. It also provides information of the life of the people, their customs, traditions, socio-economic conditions of medieval India. With this, let us have a quick recapitulation of the main points what we have learned today. Contributions of Mughal emperors to the field of literature, works written during the Mughals period, authors who wrote masterpieces. Literature is reflection of society. It is a chief source to construct the Mughal history. Besides this, we have also learnt about the benefits of studying literature. In order to prepare my talk, the books I referred are Medieval History of India by J.C. Agarwal, History of Medieval India by L.P. Sharma, Advanced Study in the History of Medieval India by J.L. Mehta. I hope all of you would have enjoyed my session. Thank you, one and all.